Matt, you've been working with R&D Leverage here in Sutton and Ashfield for a number of years. I mean, they've spent a lot of money on very high sophisticated machine tools here to produce mold tools for the bottles they actually produce. But you've been working with them on EDGECAM for a number of years, but also recently with WORKNC. Tell us a little bit about the journey that you've had.
I mean, R&D themselves are a fascinating organisation, world leaders in what they do. And what we really saw is that the strength of the Hexagon portfolio, in its full glory. Like you said, they've been EDGECAM customers for a number of years, and the majority of their process was handled really well by EDGECAM. They're turning, they're 2D, and they've got some phenomenal investment into automation, which makes their process incredibly slick. But what they were finding more and more is that their customers were demanding more complex geometries from them. The nature of the 3D molds that they were producing for the plastic preformed bottles was getting more and more challenging. So what they were really looking for from us is a more complex and high-end solution for kind of 3D mold and die milling. And at that point, by that stage, we'd acquired Sesqua as was, and now we have the WORKNC suite of products. And it felt a really natural fit to bring that piece of the portfolio to R&D and deliver that to them. And ultimately, the story since we took that, we brought that into the mix, has been a fantastic connected solution.
And when I was talking to Andy that runs the shop floor here, he was telling me that he's chasing up to or just lower than 5 microns. So that's why you can see these big investments in machine tools. But also from your point of view, having a portfolio of different software that you can actually offer must be a great benefit.
Oh, it's a huge benefit. I think when you look at the CAM market overall globally, what you tend to find is one of 2 examples of challenges for customers. They either take a product that's good at one thing, and then they have challenges in other parts of their business where they can't do it. Or similarly, they take a bit of an all-rounder that is not great at anything. And I think ultimately, the situation they were in before with EDGECAM, they were doing two things really, really well, and then one thing that was maybe slightly outside of EDGECAM's sweet spot. By having the portfolio, we've been able to augment EDGECAM with WORKNC, and suddenly they've now got best-in-class solutions for the 2 different applications, and really that has given R&D a massive edge over their competitors worldwide.
Phil, from an applications point of view, working with R&D Leverage, when you're looking about the type of tooling that they're producing for the end product here, tell us from your point of view how EDGECAM and WORKNC has helped these guys.
Yeah, so from my point of view, the guys at R&D Leverage have been using EDGECAM for, I think, over 8 years now. So I was brought into the picture about a year ago. And they wanted something to complement EDGECAM. So EDGECAM's great at 2.5D and using the features and the cycles in there to automate the process. So we wanted something which had high-end 5-axis capability for their mold and die package. So we brought in WORKNC. So WORKNC's been in the market sort of 30 years now. It started in France and now it's being developed everywhere in the UK. So within WORKNC, we started with 2 seats with the guys. So because we were replacing a competition solution, it needed to be project-led. So we plan in the training, we prove off the post-processors, we come on site and prove it, we tick a box and we say it's all proven from 2.5D to 5-axis, and then we literally help the guys all the way through. So from the start to the end. And till today, they are doing great. They're doing 5-axis components and reducing cycle time where they can, and also using the templates within WORKNC.
Now it's quite interesting actually, Phil, because when I see a lot of mould shops, they do outsource a lot of their tooling, manufacturing their moulds, but here, the investment that they've actually got on their 5-axis machine tools, EDM, grinding, to actually make that end product with the tool and the moulds is pretty interesting, isn't it?
It's great. I mean, one of the things that R&D Leverage are massive keen individuals are investing. So they invest in machines, they invest in software, they invest in the people as well here. So it's more of a team effort, to be honest. So for me, it couldn't have been done with the guy, without the programmers, without the management backing us, but it has to be done from the start to the end. So even now, we aren't finished. We've still got a little bit of work to do, but I'd be confident in saying they're now up to 5-axis, reducing cycle time and using the templates within WORKNC and EDGECAM to produce fast components.
And I suppose the benefit from Hexagon's point of view is that you've got a portfolio of different software options to offer, and that must be a big benefit to R&D Leverage.
Definitely, because as you know, there's not one software that does everything. Well, with Hexagon, we've got all the software brands in our portfolio, so we can go through prismatic parts to mold and die to G-code verification using our NC Simul. So we sort of look at the customer, we look at the pain, and then we'll pitch our software from there.
And I think for me and hopefully our viewers, it's a fantastic insight to see that bottle there
Yeah.
looks very simple, but the manufacturing process that has led to that is immense.
It is. I mean, it goes from design, it goes into manufacturing. The toolpaths that they use are quite advanced. So you have to sort of think about how we're going to manufacture it from the start and then onto the machine. So we're using Lang voices to 5-axis machines. It gets quite complex with the strategies, but WORKNC and EDGECAM are quite capable of producing complex and great surface finish on these.
And finally, for any engineers that have got complex problems,
Yeah.
they want it solving from a Hexagon point of view, what's your message?
Invite us in and we will do a project and deliver on what we say.